Hello, wonderful one. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the first series. Our second series, the second element of inspiring and motivating the most unmotivated student, is the element of surprise. Remember, I talked to you initially about the fact that there are 5 elements of an inspiring lesson plan. 5 elements to motivate the most unmotivated student. They are excitement, surprise that we're about to do, connect, involve, and challenge. Now, the element of surprise, that was one of my favorite things as a classroom teacher. To keep the kids motivated, you always want them guessing what you're going to do next. So the surprise thing that we're going to look at today to motivate the students is one that's very, very simple, and that is this. Come in dressed up like what you're teaching about that day. I taught science, and sometimes that was difficult, but you want to come in and you can wear at least one item. It can be a hat, it can be a vest, it can be a blouse, it can be just one piece that comes from whatever it is you're talking about. For instance, when I talked about how mountains form and the effect that mountains had on people, I always made sure I dressed appropriately. I'll come back to that in a minute. But when you come in with your item or items that you're dressed in, if you have some props that you can also have, those props will also help you to sell what it is you're trying to teach. It will also help them stay motivated and excited and interested in what you're teaching about. So for me, when I came in dressed up, I was even more animated, if you can imagine such a thing. I was even more animated on that day because I had the special effects or special apparel on. I would have on, for instance, the jeans. I might have on a checkered shirt because I'm talking about the mountains and all. I also had for a prop a little jug that it was empty, but I had a jug. And that jug was one that I was actually going to play into a little bit later. And that really shocked them to see me doing the mountain man. They called me Pa Bell. And I would dress up that way. And I would talk about, from a science standpoint, the effect that the mountains that we've been studying, all right, would have on the lifestyles, on the culture, on the politics. Everything that mountains would do to those people. It brought it alive, just like the apparel that I was wearing. I would talk about why folks in the mountains were so self-reliant and put a high value on that. So as you dress the part, you can now inculcate into what you're doing those other parts of it that makes it more interesting. I want you to actually fidget a little bit with whatever you're wearing or what are you doing while you're doing the high energy. I want you to move out amongst the students while you are presenting the lesson, wearing the apparel and using the props. Move among them. You're going to work in the information again about what your topic is that day. But again, you're going to include things like the culture, the politics, and the history. So you can get myriad things done while you dress that part and present that information. Students are always surprised when you do that. Now, when you finish presenting the lesson, what I want you to do is this. I would ask you to put the students in groups of 2s. All right, put them in pairs as soon as you finish that lesson. And then have the students answer questions such as, why did the apparel that you were wearing fit with the lesson you were teaching or the area you're teaching about, or in my case, the mountains that I had presented to them. Ask them questions like, how does that compare to where we are? That they wear these clothes. What kind of clothes do we wear and why? Or they use this item. Well, in our area, would we use such a thing? So have them in groups of 2s and let them answer some questions like that and come back to the whole group and share that. It makes it even more exciting, all right? Now, another thing that you can do that makes this whole lesson work is this. Once you finish presenting to the students, I want you to then assign the students to look for props, items, clothing, pots and pans, anything at all that they might want to come in and do a report from. All right? As a matter of fact, assign them a report that they will stand up. They have to bring one item or wear one item that fits with whatever it is you're talking about. Now, the other thing you're going to do is assign the students in small groups to make videos with the iPhones today and the iPads. Let them make a video presentation where they kind of dress in something from that area or that part of the world you're teaching about, geography, earth science, or whatever. Let them come in and make a video, and then also assign them to make a PowerPoint. You can have 3 or 4 items, wonderful one, and ask them to do one of those different things where they make a PowerPoint, where they are doing reports, where they are doing something that feeds off of the energy that you showed them while you were wearing what you were wearing. The goal of wearing and dressing is to allow the students to feel the energy of whatever you're talking about. That's what we're after. Wonderful one, dress the part, come in fired up, animated and excited, and let the kids feel the lesson that day. That'll be a nice surprise for them. This is our summary of Surprise Part 1. Dress the part. The element of surprise is crucial in motivating students. Evoke emotion from them. Don't need a complete costume. You don't have to have that. Part of one is okay. Props are okay. Please be very animated. Let them feel the topic. Move among the students. Combine important information from the lesson with the costume or prop. Put students in groups of 2s and give them questions such as, what was the relevancy of the costume or prop? How did the costume or prop make you feel? Assign a report or ask the students to do a video or make a PowerPoint or a simple presentation. You want them to touch this unit. You want them to feel the lesson. This is how you surprise your students. Enjoy.